Check one. Okay, Ryan, Anaheim comes, TV guy, Anaheim comes in and a lot of young skill on this roster. You know, guys in their kind of early 20s that are kind of just playing that free skill game. What do you see in their youth and some of those players?
Yeah, they definitely have some young skill. Obviously, we haven't played them or any other American team for a while now, so it's definitely a different team than the last time we saw them. But they still have some of those veterans. Obviously, Getzlaf, he'll be leading them. I mean, I think he does a lot of good things for their young core, but. Yeah, I mean, we got to make sure that we snuff out that skill as quick as we can. We know they played last night, so we got to get into them as soon as we can and be aware of who's on the ice, but make sure that we just play them hard.
And just with your forward units, I know it seems like whether you're defending a lead or trying to get a tie into overtime, like the situations you've been in this year, you've maybe got a little more rhythm with just being able to roll out some lines that are playing pretty consistent. Have you noticed that in the early going here?
Yeah, for sure, and I think that says a lot about our depth. Up front on the back end, same thing. But yeah, I think you can kind of throw any one of our forward lines out in many situations, and I mean, whether it's defending a lead, whether we need a goal. I thought we did a really good job in the third period against Calgary, just shutting things down and not sitting back too much, but just playing with a high pace, high pressure, and that was every line that was going out there was doing that. So it's definitely nice to have that depth to be able to do that.
Hey, Ryan. Okay. You've got a young team coming in here that played last night, and then Arizona's in next. And not that you ever take anything for granted, but this is kind of a situation where a good team puts its foot down and takes care of business and comes out of this stretch 4-0.
Well, yeah, I mean, we need to be able to. I mean, just because they played last night, I mean, we need to be able to come out hard. I think the start's so important when you have a team coming in back to back, and I mean, we need to learn to win in these situations. I think we've grown a lot over the years. As a team, and we have more confidence, so definitely we need to be able to take advantage of certain situations. But I mean, there's nothing easy any night in this league. I mean, any team on any given night can beat the other one, so you can't take anything for granted. Got to make sure that we, like you said, we kind of put our best foot forward, and every night we want to be a hard team to play against. And sometimes things don't click. Sometimes you're not feeling your best, but I think that work ethic is something that you can make sure that you maintain every night.
You get a U.S. team tonight. You're going on the road for a couple. You're back to the 82 game grind with all the teams in the league. What as a player is that exciting? What did you miss about the 82 games?
Yeah, well, I think you're so used to it, and then you get away from it last year. It definitely feels a lot different. I mean, I think. The way they did it last year with playing teams multiple times in the same city, I think they did a really good job of that. Made the travel a lot easier on us. But yeah, obviously you miss going down to some of the other cities and playing every team. I think that's something that's fun about this league is being able to play every team and see every different player. I mean, it's obviously different divisions kind of play a different style, but being able to play against top players from out east or down south or whatnot, it's always fun, and I think that's one of the great things about this league.
It's been a while since Dallas Eakins was here, but I think this is his first trip back since he went to Anaheim. What do you remember about the Dallas Eakins era when he was coaching you guys?
Yeah, well, I think something that he impressed upon us right away was the work ethic, and so we got to expect that from this team tonight. That was kind of the first and foremost thing for him is you're going to go out there and work every night. So, I mean, he's got a young team over there, but you know that they have skill, but they're going to be working, so got to prepare for that.
Ryan, going back to the travel, would you be for if, let's say, you did a road trip, 2 games in LA, 2 games in Anaheim, and then the next time you did 2 in San Jose and 2 in Vegas? Would you prefer that rather than a 4-gamer in 4 cities?
Personally, I think I mean I enjoyed doing that last year, so I think it would be a cool thought to have. I don't know if that's something that they'll seriously think about in the future, but just as far as last year, I thought that was really good. You kind of get settled into a hotel. You have a lounge to kind of hang out in, and obviously you're not traveling quite as much. So I think, I don't know, I enjoyed it. I think it's something that hopefully, I mean, maybe they can look for in the future.
Ryan, there was a time when the Oilers were the young team with all the young skill guys, and Getzlaff and Perry and, Niedermeyer and Boschman and Kessler used to come through here and generally win. That shoes, I'm not saying it's completely on the other foot, but it sure looks that way. What's that tell you about your time in the league? And, think back for us to those days when those guys used to come in here, how hard they were to play against.
Yeah, I think, I mean, that whole division, or, I mean, the California teams, when I first got into the league, were always tough games. I mean, these guys, like you said, I mean, Getzlaff, Perry, playing against those two every night, going up against LA, San Jose. I mean, they're older, veteran, experienced, bigger, harder teams to play. And I think now that we have that experience, like you said, it's obviously time goes on and things change quick in this league. So, I mean, we're a more veteran team, more experienced team. We've had a lot of guys get into the playoffs, had some, some heartbreaks in the playoffs, but you always learn and you gain experience from it. So, I mean, this is a young team, and like I've said before, you don't take anything for granted. Any given night, any team can win, so we got to make sure that I think first and foremost we have a good start and kind of snuff out their young skill as quick as we can, and just make it tough on them tonight.